Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Stuff That Chris Thinks. Today we're trying a bit of a different format. The joke around here that we shouldn't make on camera is that it is a pants optional format. But we're Christians, so we won't make that joke. Today we're going to talk about freedom. And we're going to talk about freedom a little bit just because it's an idea that came up in a recent youth study that I was part of. So let's jump in. In the Gospel of John, Jesus says to his listeners and to us, his readers, "So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." And our question for today, as we spend some time together, is what does it mean to be free? What is Jesus talking about? How can we be free as creations of God? There are a few different options, and let me lay them out for you like this. There are some people in our world that think freedom is the ability to do what you want when you want it. And it may look a little bit like this. We may think freedom is a get out of jail free card. It means you can do whatever, whenever, EVER, with no consequence. Hopefully I spelled that right. This idea of freedom is prevalent in our world, and it is attractive, I don't deny that. It would be very nice to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, without any consequence. But I want to suggest to you that though this definition of freedom seems appetizing, the freedom that the Bible speaks about is actually more free. It is the type of freedom that if the Son sets us free, we'll be free indeed. The freedom that the Bible talks about is a little bit like this, and I'd like to show you a metaphor involving a bird to describe it. Let's pull the bird into the frame. This is our picture of a bird. I confess I'm not much of an artist, but hopefully you can see it. What if we said this bird is put into a cage? Let's draw a cage. The cage goes like this, and it has some bars and a little hang on top, and some bars down. Our bird in the cage, we may say, is confined or limited and therefore not free. Its options are quite limited. Our bird in the cage wants to be free. If we took the bird out of the cage, let's ask, what is it free to do? Is our bird that is no longer in the cage free to be a fish that swims in the deep ocean? No. Is our bird that is out of the cage free to run fast on the African savanna like a cheetah? And don't judge my cheetah drawing here, everybody. Our cheetah's going to look a little bit like a sausage dog or something. And it's going super fast. Is our bird free to run fast? No. Maybe let's have one more. Is our bird free to crawl underground like a mole? And this one is gonna... That's a mole, everybody. Neither is that the case. Our bird is free, in this case, to be the thing that God created it to be, which is a bird, to eat seeds and to fly through the sky. Our idea of freedom that the Bible presents to us is not the freedom to do anything we want without consequence, but in fact, the freedom that the Bible talks about is the freedom to be ourselves as God created us to be. What does this mean for Christian living? The freedom that the Bible speaks about is the freedom to be unencumbered by sin, to be unencumbered by our fallen desires and wishes and aspiration. It's the freedom to dream with God's dreams. It's the freedom to participate in God's reality, in God's actuality as well. I'd like to suggest to you all that the freedom, so-called, that our world talks about, do what we want, whenever we want, is actually a type of slavery, says the scriptures. It's a slavery to our own desires and to our own will and to our own consequences. But as Jesus talks about, real freedom, which is the freedom to live as God intended us to be, is a type of freedom that the Son, Jesus Christ, sets us free with. Everybody, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. My prayer for you all and for myself is that this is the type of freedom that will come to characterize our lives as we trust in Jesus and are changed by His Holy Spirit. We'll see you next time, everyone.